Hello friends. In the previous video, I have explained the concept of the Selaginella, one group of pteridophytes. That continue with the another one group of pteridophytes, that's the Equisitaceae, the Equisetum. So today's class we will discuss the general account classification and occurrence of the Equisetum. The Equisetum is commonly referred as horse-style moss. So general characteristic of the Equisetum, the Equisitaceae that consist of the two genus, that's the Equisetum and Equisitaceae. Usually the genus have the living and some of them are extinct in nature, and the sporophyte shows the different region, that's the stem, leaves and the roots, or the root, stem and the leaves. And usually stem consists of the nodal and internodal regions. The internodal region have the long regions, and usually some of the internodal region consist of the xerophytic characteristic. Mainly stem shows both hydrophytic and also the xerophytic characteristic, because the leaves are highly reduced, they form the scaly leaves, and usually each number of the leaves have the corresponding ridges, and both the members have the homosporous in nature, and sporangia bone on the underside, and they form a special head-like structure, that is a terminal cones will be formed. And usually the gametophyte is monoecious in nature, and antherozoites are multiflagellated, and the development of embryo is exosporic nature. The classification of the Equisetum, the division Pteridophyta, subdivision Spinopsida, order Equisetaceae, family Equisitaceae. So coming to the habitat and distribution of the Equisetum, Equisetum is represented by about 30 species, and they are commonly referred as a horse style. The very less species are reported from the Equisetum because they require specially habitat. That means they require damp, shady places and also the marshy areas. That's why these are the specialized habitats. So usually commonly in Karnataka, these Equisetum grow in a river basins, especially Krishna river basin or even deltas river basins. There actually commonly this Equisetum is growing. And in the world, especially except Australia and New Zealand, in other places you will find the Equisetum. The common Equisetum species of India are the Equisetum averniaceae, Equisetum debele, Equisetum diffusum and Equisetum elongatum. These are some common species occur in India. And usually Equisetum, if present, they indicate the minerals in the soil, and they especially Equisetum where actually present in the soil region, they have the indication of the gold mines in the soil. And this is the epidermal cells have the capacity to accumulation of silica, where actually some river basins, if the Equisetum is grown, that indicates that region have the silica, and usually that silica is accumulated in stem of the Equisetum, and this will help for the protection from the heterospory damages. And usually some Equisetum are used in medicine also. They are used as a diuretic in nature. And coming to the sporophyte structure of the Equisetum, they have the perennial branch structure, creeping underground rhizome will be there, and they have the erect annual branches will be there. The aerial branches are herbaceous in nature, and usually they have the 10 to 16 centimeter height and 2 to 3 meters in some of the species. That is varies with the size is varies with the species. Some may be, in case of Equisetum resent, only 4 meters will be there, and some other species that may be varies. Diameter of the stem, that is a few millimeter in 2 centimeter will be there. Morphology, the sporophyte plant body is differentiated root, stem and the leaves. The root is generally born on the rhizomes except the first root of the embryo, and arising each nodes have the oral region, and the stem, the main stem is underground, creeping and perennial rhizomes will be there, and usually differentiated into node and the interrodal regions. So what actually main portion of the will be under the soil, they have the creeping, that's the rhizome region will be there, and the upper region have the oral, that's the scaly leaves will be present, which is joined with the around the nodes, and the leaves, the leaves are small in nature. And they usually in case of the stem, they have the two types of the stem, that's the vegetative shoot and the fertile. The fertile shoot have the spore bearing region will be there, and the vegetative shoot, they doesn't have the spore or the cone will be there. And this is the figure showing the fertile cones, that's a reproductive region, and this is the vegetative region. So this is the some species of the Equisetum debile and Equidiffusium. There is no distinguish between the aerial shoot and the strawberry, both will be same. And usually branches of two types, that's the branches of limited growth and the branches of unlimited growth. Branches of limited growth, they have the limited shoots, and usually they have the small internodes and the nodal regions. Branches of the unlimited growth, branches of the limited growth, they have the also differentiated node and the internodal region, just like a vegetative region, but they have the unbranched regions, rhizomes. Usually appears due to the presence of nodal region, internodal region. This is the photograph shows the internodal and the nodal region. So two nodal region will be there. The in between those nodal region is called internodal region. These internodal region have the long axis and they bear the scaly leaves. This is the picture is clearly showing the scaly leaves. And this is the structure of the leaves. Leaves are minute, and they are isophyllous in nature. Iso means uniform size and usual in nature, and they flatten, and the rhizome doesn't have the leaves, but only the aerial shoot have the leaves, and they look like a frill like appearance. And usually leaves are at successive nodes alternate with the each other, and leaves of the Equisetum are non-photogenic. They mainly function in protective in nature, just like in case of xerophyte, they have this type of adaptations. And we will study the anatomy in the next classes.